feel like the principal.
Well, Israel, the front right here. Obviously, you've been kind of targeting this fight with Dricus for a while, even when you were a champion. So I guess now that you're only a few days away from actually getting to fight him, I guess, how was camp? What are the emotions this fight week? And yeah.
Camp was awesome. It was refreshing. It was one of the best ones, if not the best one yet. And the emotions this fight week, it's calm.
What in fight camp specifically, if you could say, made this one of the best ones?
Just we reshuffled the deck. We changed the way we just pretty much kept what was useful and discarded what was useless for us. And we upgraded the program itself and had a preseason, had training blocks, not just going hard all the time, and then getting injured and stuff.
Was that a conversation you had with your camp, or did you approach them and say, we got to get rid of some stuff?
I think they saw, the schedule that I was on and some of the other fighters in our gym. I had 5 fights in 16 months as a champion. And again, it's not just the fight itself, it's the work we have to do to get ready for the fight. So they saw the detriment that was doing to me and some of the other fighters. So it was good to refresh everything.
And obviously, I feel like you're a big energy guy. Like you kind of feel energy from people. Have
Yes.
you run into him at all in the hotel? And what energy are you getting from him?
Not really him, but I saw his coach and his brother, and they're cool.
You said, I don't care about belts, I'm coming for heads. And I think you said you wanted to show off yourself in this octagon. So I guess, how do you view success fighting Dricus? Is it beating him? Is it beating him spectacularly? Is it just putting on like a fight that fans are enjoying? How do you view success against him?
Success against him will be all 3.
Did you see the footage of his coach using a taser in fight camp when people were out of position and grappling stuff? He would like tase their feet and stuff.
Yeah, Eugene uses knives. He always has a knife on him. Is he here? No, he's not. If he does, he'll have a knife on him. So I've had knives pointed at me before. It's not this camp though. I was good. I was good this camp.
And I saw on your Twitter you posted some photos of yourself, but then you also posted like an audio of someone like reading about anger. It was like them talking about like.
Oh yeah, that was just a post. It was just.
So nothing to look into in that one?
Nah, you guys don't look too much into things. Sometimes I just post shit because it sounds cool.
Just 2 more from me. They announced Francis is making his return to MMA. So I guess a lot of people view him as like kind of the face of African MMA, just from the UFC to the PFL. So I guess what's the response from his return that maybe you felt in Africa?
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for what he's doing. He just went through something that I would never wish on anyone, and we've talked. I've checked up on him. And again, I respect Francis so much. He's an integral part of what we've done in the UFC. Right now I know there's competition between other promotions and the UFC and battles, but again, you can never erase history because the streets, the internet will always remember no matter what. And I think they'll fix this eventually, but it's just a lot of chest puffing. But I think hopefully the UFC are smart people. They'll understand and they'll rectify this eventually.
Are you referring to that video clip that came out?
Not just that, just everything. Like, just you can't erase Francis's legacy in the UFC. It's part of what we've done. It's forever in history, in stone. So trying to whitewash it or just not talk about it is silly. And I know he's fighting for, the PFL right now, but it's still history. You can't just turn a blind eye to it. So again, I'm sure they'll fix it eventually. This is how business goes with the UFC, and yeah.
The last one for me, unrelated to this fight, but November 1st, they're going to start implementing these new rule changes with the
12 to 6 elbow.
Yeah,
Finally, Jesus Christ.
They've also redefined the grounded opponent, so you need more than just your hands. So I can hear you're happy with these changes.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's about time. That, but then also we got to the judging as well has to change. Not for me, but for us as fighters. I don't do win bonuses, so I'm all right. But for some of these other guys who have win bonuses and they get their win bonuses taken away, and that could be half their purse, could be 10,000, 20, 25,000 away from them because the judge decided, you weren't moving forward enough, even though they were blasting the other guy in the face with kicks and punches. Yeah, it's good for the game, and I think these things should happen quicker.
Israel, we're talking about legacy a lot in this sport, and it's the reason why a lot of people do it. When you see what's happening with Francis and stuff, is it a concern that the turnover of fans in this sport is so high-paced that legacies like his can be forgotten if the promotion itself doesn't celebrate them as often as they can?
It can be, but also, again, we're in the age of the internet, so I don't think it's going to be forgotten as easily as they try. But, yeah. Also myself, look, my last fight was atrocious for myself. I was not happy with that fight. And, the fans, the media, you're only as good as your last fight. They keep all these sometimes these sayings that don't make sense anymore. You're only as good as your last fight. I don't get it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay. But, yeah, so for me, even this weekend, I kind of want to do what I have to do. And when I do it, and then people are going to be like, fuck, how did we not see this coming? How did we underestimate that he was going to do this? Amazing. So yeah, it's just time to remind people.
You took this time off. We good?
Classic.
Good. We took this time off. How long do you think you've added to your own career by just forcing yourself to take this break?
I don't know, but I've raised the level of athlete that I am by taking this break, by doing the right things to let my body heal and heal my body, and even just remove myself from the game completely for, 3 months or whatever it was. But yeah, I don't know how much I've added, but I know definitely I've raised the level of fighter that I am.
Is part of that the motivation, right? Not just to beat Dricus, not just to show that you're still the top level, but the narrative in this sport, sometimes it's like, oh, once they start losing, they just lose and lose and lose, and then they're done. Are you excited to come back and be like, no, that doesn't happen to every elite fighter?
They said that after New York, when I fought Alex Pereira, they were like, oh, nah, he's done. He should pack it up. They always say some dumb shit like that. But a lot of these fans, they're not, they've never done what we've done. So, yeah. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. I know what I can do. My team knows what I can do, and it's just time to show people what I can do.
Israel, over here. Just a lot has been made as obviously like you taking the time off and making a lot of changes in your life. Of all those changes, which ones would you say was like the hardest to make and probably required the most honesty from yourself with your own self?
Breakfast. No.
Breakfast?
No. There's a few. A tedious one was probably not really hard, but like the little things like the ice baths and using the hyper ice machine, because it's just, I'm tired. I've fucking just done VO2 max workout. I get home, I gotta put this fucking moon boot on all the way up to my groin and then sit there. So these little things, and once you do them, you're fine. Every time I'm about to hop in a cold plunge, my mind always tries to say no, because that's self-preservation, but I just override that, and it calcifies your mind. You get used to saying no to your urges of relief or whatever, and then you learn how to go through the fire or ice.
You mentioned before that the vibe is calm this week. Why is that calm? I think also because a lot of people expected, like, man, it's going to be a crazy fiery build-up. Where's that calmness coming from?
Experience. A lot has happened in the last 11 months. I've had to go through some life shit myself. My life really, my personal life really is, like social media or shit like that all the time. So for me, I had to go through a lot of life stuff and a lot of soul searching and a lot of, what do I want from this game? What do I want from life? Where do I see myself? All that kind of question. What do I want my legacy to be? All these questions I had to ask myself and have an honest talk to myself. And yeah, eventually I just knew when I came back, I wanted to be like reinvented. I wanted to be a different, what did Kobe say? Same animal, but a different beast. Yeah.
Israel.
Oh, sorry, not done yet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Almost done. I was going to say, that face-off that you and Dricus had, it went for ages, but it was such a calm presser, and then the energy changed. What was it that made the energy change so abruptly?
So for me, I just I don't know what to expect, but he tried to pufferfish me, and then he realized pretty quickly I'm not the one you can try and just blow smoke at. And yeah, he felt my energy, and he understands. He knows who he's dealing with now. That moment right there let him know. He got to look into my eyes and see who I am. Yeah, I don't know what brought it on, but it's just deja vu. I've been here before. I've battled with the best. Like, no one can intimidate me. No one can intimidate me, and he definitely won't do that.
Something that you've been saying a lot is like you want to show him who he is. Take us into that. What exactly does that mean? Who is he?
You'll find out.
All right.
This guy, he's been waiting.
Israel, what are you expecting from Dricus on fight night, and what do you make of being, the odds-on favorite for this one, and Dricus, the champ, is the underdog?
I don't know. I didn't really know I was the favorite. What do I expect from Dricus? I just expect him to bring his best. He says he feels amazing, so I'm like, good. That's what I want.
Israel, just to your left. You're obviously one of the most active champions throughout your first run as champion. Would you be looking to return to that same activity level you had with a win over Dricus this Sunday?
I'm not even looking past this Sunday. I'm just looking at this Sunday. Yeah, and after that, I'll deal with things as they come.
I heard you mentioned, there was a bit of an injury when you fought Sean last year. I guess how important was that time off for you just to heal the niggling injuries and things that, with your body you could eventually get right with that time off?
It's really important. You have to. But again, I've always fought with something wrong. Like 2 weeks before the Miami fight, I did my knee. I didn't pull out. It was really bad. I could have pulled out, but I just knew this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and it paid off. So, yeah, sometimes you roll the dice, you hit. Sometimes you get snake eyes. But yeah, I just had to pull back and just manage my risk better.
Yeah, and with the win over Dricus this Sunday, you'd become only the second three-time UFC champion in history alongside Randy Couture. I guess, do you have any thoughts on that sort of accomplishment?
No, I haven't really thought about it. It's just focus on Dricus and the rest will come.
Thank you.
That's right here. Dricus said in an interview a few days ago, I can't remember who, that he needs to be perfect to beat this guy. That was his quote. Does that already show to you that there is some maybe doubt in his mind if he doesn't put on a flawless performance, that he maybe knows he can't win this?
He needs to be perfect. I don't know. We'll see. You have to ask him.
Yeah, when he comes in here. I know you said to Oscar yesterday when he kind of broke the news of Dana saying Sean Strickland would get the next title shot, you needed a little time to think about it. I'm just wondering if you formed any thoughts over the past 24 hours. I know you said that you thought the performance was atrocious, so it was exciting to potentially get that back.
Again, I'm different now. I'm not trying to look towards the future. I'm putting everything on this fight. I'm not a guy who needs to fight for the belt because I've never done it before. This is my one dream. I'm just focused on this fight, beat this guy up, and then I'll deal with whatever comes next when it comes.
You mentioned during the 11 months off, you did that soul searching and hope you found the personal happiness, but you mentioned legacy. You thought about what you want that to be. Can you share what feelings you had or thoughts towards what you want your legacy to be?
That's for myself.
And just last thing, that 11 months is the longest break you've had since you started combat sports in 2010, which is just insane to think about. That's like a normal break for most UFC champions we see. So for you, how much have you kind of evolved during that time, and how much do you think the freshness might affect your performance?
I think you guys will see the best me you've seen yet. I'm the biggest I've ever been, the most muscular I guess I've ever been. I feel faster. I surprise myself sometimes with the speed that I'm hitting with. I'm not really hitting hard, I'm just really sharp. And I feel like a blade in this one. So yeah, it's been good to refresh myself and reset myself, and now let's get it.
Israel, just over here, man. Just a couple quick ones from me. First off, I know you love the Saw theme, but I guess when you look at this fight, Dricus is a guy that moves forward, and you're a guy that's known to really set up some really great traps in that octagon. Are you kind of seeing these kind of parallels between the theme, the movie, and kind of this fight more than ever going into this one?
I didn't really think about Saw too much. The Saw theme is just a fucking track that will get my skin fucking goosebumps every single time. But yeah, definitely. There's already traps that's been set. There's been many traps that have been set way before this fight was even announced. But yeah, I'm sure they're working hard as well to try and set traps. But yeah, this is the game we play. I like these games, even coach versus coach. I'm sure they like it as well. Let's see who has the better game plan. Let's see who has the better strategy. So yeah, there's traps that have been set, and there's traps that will be set. But then, sometimes, we just have to fucking fight. And then we're gonna fight this weekend.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Undertaker was on Logan Paul's podcast and mentioned that he really liked that tribute that you did to him in that walkout. Just quickly, if you had to sort of compare a couple of guys on the team to a couple of other wrestlers, we're looking Dan Hooker, probably Stone Cold Steve Austin, and who else would you sort of compare, thinking on the Kakai, Huge? Who would Huge be?
Fuck, as the Iron Sheik. Yeah.
Awesome, and that's me.
Sorry, so just one more. We saw the photos of your custom shorts. They might be the dopest ones yet.
Thank
just
you.
tell me what the inspiration was behind them, and how happy are you that I know you preach, fighter uniqueness and getting to show personality, that you've been able to do some of that now.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's good to bring back a little bit of personality. And I think maybe 5 months ago, Hunter told me that was going to be a thing, even before the gold gloves were a thing. So I'm happy I picked those and I designed them and I sent them to him months ago. And then the gold gloves came through. And I wasn't really a fan of them at first, but then I saw them with the shorts. I'm like, you know what, they kind of work together. But I think for instead of the gold gloves, maybe black with the gold trim, with the gold UFC on them, that looks even cooler. The gold gloves they look good with my shorts, but some other fighters, they look kind of shit. And it's not really my problem, but yeah, the lightning is nice. The yellow flash, speed, whatever you want to say it is. We are electric.
Just 2 more questions.
Israel, just over here. UFC Fight Week is always busy. However, last time you fought, you had a documentary screening, as well as lots of other things going on that were kind of secondary to the fight. How is it now to not necessarily have those things?
It's good. I don't mind. I can juggle so many things. I have great people around me. Tim Simpson, Ashbel Castro. My father. They always take care of the business side of things. But the buck stops with me. But yeah, it wasn't really. I think it's just everything. It wasn't just the fight. It was everything around it, like the travel and whatnot. So this time I just try to sit my ass at home after I've done my hiatus and just work. And speaking of the documentary, it'll be on Apple TV in North America, finally, September. So I'm happy for at least the rest of the world to finally start to see this movie. It's been a while, coming, but yeah, it's not really it's a sports documentary, but I even like seeing. There's a picture I have of an old lady knitting on a plane and watching it on the flight, and yeah, that speaks volume to the kind of movie it can be. It's not just about fighting; it's about me, myself, and dealing with this lifestyle I got thrusted into.
In that documentary, there's a theme of letting go of anger within yourself, and there's a part where you talk about kind of being worried that when the anger goes, what will be the motivator? When you let go of that, and then the next fight doesn't necessarily go your way, what is that feeling, and has anything replaced that anger as the motivator?
It's not the main motivator. Anger is not the main motivator. Anger is an energy source. It's like fire. You can use it to cook for you. You can use it to help you out, but it can burn your house down. It's just learning how to firebend. And he's talking about, my fire is big. My fire is this. Well, I'm the fucking avatar.
Thank you.
Yeah. One more. This guy.
Thank you so much.
Better be good.
All right.
I fucking shot for you.
I appreciate it. How does it feel to fight in Perth alongside your fellow Kiwis, Dan Hooker and Kai Kara France, and how do you think they're going to go in their fights?
That was all right. That was all right. What do you expect? It's going to be good.
I'll tell them that, Dory.
Yeah. But yeah, it's nice. When you bleed together in the training, you sweat together in training, it's time to go to war. We're brothers in the trenches. And again, people sometimes, they get it twisted. They think, Israel is just fucking got the entourage like this and that. It's like, nah. These are moments in history that the people who have helped me get ready need to see in real life. So we bring a lot of them with us to experience these moments. It's not just whoever is on our team, the mob that you see us rolling with, they are all integral parts of the team. It's not just there for looks or show. These are all soldiers. When we go to war, we hold the fucking line.
Yeah. And the last question, Dana White recently shared that Sean Strickland is going to be getting the winner of you and Dricus after this weekend. How do you feel about that? And do you think he should be in line as opposed to the winner of Rob Whittaker?
You're not listening, are you? we've already answered that. We talked about that earlier on. All right, that'll be the last one. But yeah, thank you. This was fun. And yeah, till next one.